Nicole County Communications. This is Stacy.
Hi, Stacy. My name's Nicole, and I'm calling because I'm concerned about a friend of mine. I dropped her off at her house at 2 in the morning last night because we were out of town together, and we were on the way back from the airport, and she's having issues, and she's pregnant, and I haven't been able to get a hold of her this morning, and I've gone to her house, and her car's there, and stuff like that, but she won't answer the door, she won't answer phone calls, she won't answer text messages, and I'm just really, really concerned, and she had a doctor's appointment this morning, and she didn't go to it, and I don't know what to do. I've called him and talked to him, and he said that she went on a play date with her other two daughters, but, like, if she went on a play date, they're both in car seats. Why would she not take her car?
Perfectly understandable. Do you happen to know her address, Nicole?
2825 Saratoga Trail in Frederick. And then I said, like, Chris, can you just come home and check to make sure she's okay? Because the shoes she wears every single day are right inside her door. And he was like, yeah, I'll be there in 3 minutes. Well, that was 45 minutes ago. And I called him and asked him again, can you please come home? And he's like, I'm 45 minutes out.
What's your name?
Shanann Waugh.
Alrighty, we do have a call in, Nicole. We'll have an officer come out that way as soon as we can.
Nicole?
Yes.
Okay. What's going on?
So my friend, we were out of town for a business trip this weekend.
All right.
And I dropped her off at 2 o'clock this morning. She's 15 weeks pregnant. She wasn't feeling well. And she had a doctor's appointment this morning at 9. And I told her to let me know if she needed me to take her. She's got 2 little girls. And she was very distraught over the weekend, wasn't eating normally or drinking. And we kept trying to force it on her because she's pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Her husband and her supposedly are separating, but she didn't know this. She thought they were just having issues. He disclosed that to me today.
Okay.
Because I called him and I was like, have you talked or heard from Shanann since you left for work this morning? Because I can't get a hold of her. I've called, I've texted. Her car's in the garage. Her shoes she wears every single day are by the front door.
Do you mind calling him and seeing if we can get a passcode to this and get me permission to go in?
Okay.
I'm just gonna check the back, see if I can see anything. Because it could be grandparents came and picked them up. You know, it could be a lot of things. She left her phone. Her phone's dead. How you doing? You seen your neighbors today? No? Okay. Oh, we're just trying to get a hold of her.
No, I know he works in the oil field, but he's on certain days and off for.
You didn't see her today, though, any outside or anything? Okay.
Is there a key code, Sandy, to open the garage from the outside? What is it? His mom's going to get it.
Okay.
This is her parents.
Mike, what's the key code of the garage? Jenny's house. The cops are there.
Well, I can't go in, but if they allow you to go in, I have to have the property owner's permission to enter.
Something's going on.
Okay. Well, he's the property owner.
Well, Chris told me Shannon was at her girlfriend's house.
Do we know who that is?
Do we know who?
Or phone number?
He didn't say.
Shannon, are you home? Police department, if anyone's inside, make yourself known. Police department, if anyone's inside, make yourself known. Yeah, you'd think they were here, the kids or someone would respond though. You'd hear some kind of noise. Scott, how you doing?
How's it going?
So this is the only vehicle she would have?
Only one that, yeah.
She would drive? Okay.
Can we go in the house?
We can.
I mean, that's up to him. It's his house. If you guys...
Nikki, I'm giving you permission to walk in my daughter's house.
Mind if I come in, Chris? Okay. You mind if I look around?
Go ahead.
Okay, thanks. I'm checking the house for consent.
Down her phone.
Oh. Well, any friends that you know she would be hanging out with?
I mean,
I know, I guess her
Amanda,
parents are out of state.
Across country, North Carolina.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's not happening. All the girls' blankies are gone. Their blankies they sleep with, they don't leave anywhere without them.
Good. Nothing else appears to be missing though, just
No.
stuff you'd take for a quick trip.
Her phone.
Her phone's here? Her phone's here.
Does she work?
Yeah, she works from home.
Oh, from home?
She works, this is her lifeline.
What does she do for work?
She works a direct sales company called Drive.
She doesn't ever black out or have
No,
seizures or anything like
No,
that
I
though.
mean, long time ago. She got in a car wreck, and they believe that's what happened. But Imitrex is something she takes for migraine. She took more Imitrex this last month than she ever had before, but that's just because she was in North Carolina with the humidity and everything like that. She was there for 6 weeks, and we got back Monday or Tuesday.
Ready? Set. Hold on. We're going up. We're going up. She's holding up for dear life. Are we up? Cece's having fun. She's like, this is what rain feels like? This is nice. Have fun? Are you having fun in the rain? Was that fun? No, go back out there. Daddy's on here watching you. Is that fun? Did you have fun? Are you playing in the rain?
You played in the rain. You got all wet.
Say hi, everybody.
You play in the rain.
Yeah, was it fun?
You got all wet too.
Bella kinda did. She didn't like it too much.
You didn't like it.
No.
Fun playing in puddles.
Airplane. I know.
Hey everybody. So this is the girls' first time to the beach. Come on, Cece. Come on, Bella. Come on, Cece. Go in it, Cece.
And then she flew out to Arizona Friday morning, and then she got back last night. About 2 a.m. The flight got delayed. She left about 11. She got here at 2.
Okay.
And I went to work this morning about 5:15, 5:30.
What do you do?
I work at oil and gas in Anadarko.
What do you do for them?
Operator.
Long days then?
Yeah, I'll definitely still be out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what time do you work?
Usually, once I get to work, it's like 6:30 to 3:30, 4 o'clock.
You usually work nights or days?
Days.
What time do you leave the day?
What time to leave there?
No, here.
Usually between 5:30 and 6.
Alright. And was Shannon here then?
Yes. Yeah, she's still in bed.
Does she usually watch the kids, or you have daycare watch them? Or?
She usually watches the kids if they're not in school.
Okay. You guys have any kind of issues, marital issues, or
We're going through separation.
you are? Did you guys file it yet or anything, or just talking about it?
No, we're gonna sell the house and do a separation.
How's that going?
It's going
Civil for the most
civil.
part, or?
Picked up, so here.
There was no note or anything by the wedding ring?
No.
Was any of her clothes, anything like that missing? It didn't look like she went through and packed up
No, I mean,
a bag
she
or
has
anything.
This and all that on the bottom, so it'd be kind of hard to tell if she took a little bit, or I mean, it'd be easy to tell if she took a lot, but it's hard to tell if she took a little bit or not.
Okay. Did she tell you anything about leaving, moving out?
Not moving out. I mean, the last time I talked to her was this morning. She said she was going to take the kids to a friend's house, and that's where she was going to be. And then I've texted her today. I've never heard anything, but the car's here.
Right.
Are here, unless somebody came and picked her up. But the people that I know, nobody's heard from her. Nobody's seen her.
Right. Definitely an odd one.
I don't know what I can do right now. Should I drive around like the normal route that she would be?
Where does she normally go to?
I mean, just like drive where like she would normally take the kids to school. People that I know that live down, Kristen lives down that way. I mean, that's the only routes I know she would really take. Loading my stuff up in my coolers, my water jugs, my book bag, my computers, some of the tools that I had from the toolbox. I knew I was going to have to do some pumping unit rubbers today. That's why I was out so far.
Is this on continually
Yep.
recording?
Yep. Well,
It's not. Is it motion or is it?
event,
Okay, so it's motion.
Any motion event that happens, I get cars driving from this street, and this is him at 517.
I usually park out there on the side. I just want to get everything back in. Be easier, so lugging everything out there, all the tools that I had to bring in.
My detective just showed up, so he'll probably want to talk to you. He'd probably, like I said, he might have you call at the bank and see if there's any kind of activity.
Because if there is any sort of action out
I know
there,
his camera's
I
like,
would have got it.
like
Right.
we had issues the other week when people were stealing stuff out of like garages and stuff like that. And I had parked my truck
I
right
had
here.
to park right here.
Yeah. So someone,
See if
I could
anything
see where
happened.
someone tried to jimmy with a flathead screwdriver over there, and it was just like,
But if any action would have happened, any cars or anything left your house, I would
yeah,
have
if it
got
would
it.
have been like right in that area, it should have picked. I mean,
Oh, it'll pick up anything coming down the street this way.
you know where that tree there too?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Because, yeah, we can pick up cars coming this way. I get anything coming this way and making us turn. So, and usually at night I pick up the cars pulling a U-turn. So, unless they pulled right here,
Yeah.
but I would have caught her walking out. But yeah, I thought nothing.
Nothing for the rest of the day.
No, that's it.
She's pregnant as well.
How far along?
15 weeks.
I didn't pick her up going into the house though.
It didn't. And I usually pick him up when he comes walking through here.
Mm-hmm.
I pick him up. So it doesn't show her walking into the house.
All right. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks.
Hopefully something comes up here.
Yeah.
Mind if you just want to go talk to him? I'm going to get his info real quick.
He's not acting right at all.
No.
He's never fishing. He's never rocking back and forth. And if you look, he never takes his stuff in and out of the garage ever.
Right.
And it doesn't look like he came from right here. It looks like he came from down the street. And then the other thing that doesn't make sense is why did he pull past this part? You can see him pull past.
Are you able to record this?
But watch, you'll see him get out. And he walks back and forth. To be completely honest with you, my wife and I were kind of wondering when she was on vacation if something happened, because I've heard them full out screaming at each other at the top of their lungs, and he gets crazy.
Does he? And that's pretty recently?
Yeah. I've never seen him. If he loads his stuff, he normally just walks back and forth, because I get him on camera.
What does he usually load up?
All he usually has is a lunchbox and a book bag, looks like a computer, and usually a water jug. That's it. But the fact that he was in here and explaining to it over and over and over,
Well, odd.
but he doesn't look worried. He looks like he's trying to cover his tracks. He's loading his stuff. Why isn't he walking back and forth? But I can't see what he's doing in the back of the truck because he pulled into the garage. And he knows my camera's there. He's normally, you can ask them, he's normally quiet, real subdued. He's over here telling you 3 times what he took out, what he did. He's very, he never talks. So the fact that he's over here blabbing his mouth makes me kind of suspicious.
Yeah, but I mean, put yourself in his situation.
Oh, I agree.
You know, anyone's going to be nervous. You don't know what to do.
No, I agree, but I'm just saying the way he told you 3 times what he brought with him, why is he telling you exactly what he brought with him instead of saying, oh, they didn't see anybody out here, he didn't see anybody doing anything? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Why is he so worried about you knowing what he's carrying out? That's all I'm saying.
Say hi.
Hi.
Hi. So Saturday's here. I don't even know what time it is. It's 8:30 here in Colorado. And I love waking up now on Saturdays and being able to enjoy my family. Bella, Cece, and I and my dad are flying back to North Carolina for 6 weeks. It's amazing what the littlest things can do, like in life. Like when you surround yourself with people who are just negative, not happy with life, which I get it, I've been there, I've done that. But I'm choosing, even on my worst days, to not let the negativity bring me down. I choose happiness. I choose drama-free life. I want a drama-free life. Oh my gosh. Colorado makes me feel like it's drama-free life because Colorado is just amazing. I've never given up. A lot of you know part of my story, my health challenges, bad relationships, things that could have knocked somebody down completely hardcore. But the thing is I believe that everything in life happens for a reason. And I also believe people are placed in our life for a reason. I remember coming out feeling the weakest I've ever felt in my life. Like I was no good. I wasn't good enough. My insecurities got deeper, stronger, and I felt like I was not worthy of anything. But I remember when I was single for a long time, and my goal was to buy a house. I was tired of paying someone else's mortgage because, you know, that's what you do when you rent. And I wanted to buy a house. And so I worked and worked and worked and worked. And I was 25 years old when I built my first house. My family doesn't come from money. We always worked hard for what we had. And I did. I bought my first house at 25 years old. And then I met Chris. Well, one thing led to another. And 8 years later, we have 2 kids, we live in Colorado, and he's the best thing that has ever happened to me.
We did it again. I like that shirt. Really?
Really?
That's awesome. So pink means...
That's just the test.
I know. It just says the pink is going to be girls.
I don't know. Just the test.
That's awesome. Guess when you want to, it happens.
We are also following the desperate search for a pregnant mother and her 2 young daughters mysteriously disappearing
from their home in Colorado, north of Denver. The father saying he last saw his wife Monday morning after the two had a, quote, emotional conversation the night before. Tonight, the FBI joining the case, and here's ABC's Clayton Sandell from Colorado.
Police tonight are canvassing a small town with a big mystery.
I'm worried for everybody.
Desperate for clues in the disappearance of two little girls, Celeste and Bella, ages 3 and 4.
Hey, everybody. Say hi.
And their mother, 34-year-old Shanann Watts, seen here in a recent Facebook post.
We are working around the clock on this case, and we'll not rest until we have the answers that we are looking for.
Shanann's husband, Chris, says before his family vanished, he and his wife had some words for each other.
It wasn't like an argument. We had an emotional conversation, but I'll leave it at that.
But he says he last saw his family around 5 a.m. Monday when he left their Frederick, Colorado home for work.
If you're out there, just come back. Like, if somebody has her, just please bring her back.
Friend Nicole Utoft says she got worried when Shanann, who is also 15 weeks pregnant, missed a doctor's appointment and would not answer texts.
I'm just concerned, and Shanann, if you're hearing this or you're out there, please let somebody know you're okay.
Searches of the home and police dogs have turned up few clues.
Does she have a passport?
Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. I'm sure she keeps that one.
Kids have passports?
No, they're
And if you look through here and see if all of her cards are here?
He doesn't know
I don't know how many she has. She has different ones than me as far as credit cards go.
Your kids take any medication?
TC takes Singular and Omeprazole.
How often?
Singular is every night for allergies, and Omeprazole for the kind of for like the acid reflux.
Is one of them on inhalers?
They haven't done it since they got back. I think it might have ran out because the last one I saw had 0 on it, so we hadn't refilled that one yet.
From North Carolina?
Yep.
And when did you guys get back?
I think it was, so it would be, I went back to work on the 8th, so we got back on the 7th.
Okay.
And then she left for Arizona on Friday and got back last night.
And she had the kids with her last night?
Yes.
Or you had the kids?
Oh, I had the kids like all weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
We
I'm
know
very lucky right now.
and sheets and stuff are up in the master bedroom.
I know. So like when she got back from the airport last night, usually like she just jumped into bed. Like most of the time when she does that, she'll want to wash the sheets the next day to get the airport off them since she just came off the airport.
Okay.
That's the only thing I can think of.
But they were still on it when
she was in bed. Yeah.
So you were in that bed last night?
Yeah. I was up there because the monitor and stuff was up there. I was waiting for her to get back home.
And then she works from home? Is that right?
Yes, direct sales.
Okay.
So she works from phone, anything, the computer.
And then is that the office she uses for work?
Oh, she can do anywhere in here. She can be on the couch.
Oh, okay. She doesn't have like a designated area?
No.
All right. And then what was the conversation this morning you guys had?
It was about selling the house and the separation.
And how'd she take that?
We were both pretty emotional. We was both crying.
And then did you see her before you went to work? Did you say anything to her?
When she went back, like when she told me she was going to go to her friend's house and be with the kids, take the kids with her.
Oh, she told you she was taking the kids to her friend's house?
Yeah.
She didn't say who, though?
Oh, no. No, but she was still in bed when that happened.
And this was after the conversation?
Yeah, it was between like 4 and 5 a.m. I woke up about 4 o'clock.
What time did she get home?
1:48.
So did you guys sleep for a little while and then?
Oh yeah, like I was passed out when she got home.
And then did you wake her up?
Yeah, when I got up.
And that's when you discussed the
issue? I didn't want to do it like over a text or over a phone call. I wanted to be face to face with her.
How long did that conversation last?
Probably like 30-45 minutes.
And then you went to work?
Mm-hmm. I left about 5:15, 5:30, probably in that time frame.
And then she said she was going to her friend's house with kids.
But she was still here when I left.
And you have no idea of what friend? Do all your friends pretty much have kids the same age?
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to...
It's really hard. I mean, I've exhausted every option I know of as far as friends goes. Like, Nikki knew more of them because she's a woman. And that's about as far as we could go, as far as all the friends that we could think of.
again, please remain still. Regarding Shanann's disappearance, do you intend to answer all of the questions truthfully?
Yes.
Is your first name Christopher?
Yes.
Before 2018, did you ever lose your temper with someone you cared about?
No.
You're breathing really funky, so please just try and do normal breaths, okay? We can't have deep breaths or stuff like
deep
that.
breath? Okay, sorry.
So that's okay, just breathe as normal as possible, okay?
Okay,
During the whole test.
I'll get some. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you physically cause Shanann's disappearance?
No.
Were you born in 1985?
Yes.
Before 2018, did you ever say anything out of anger to a loved one?
No.
Are you lying about the last time you saw Shanann?
No.
I think we should be able to get in one more chart, but I really need your breathing to be normal.
Okay,
you are like all over the place. So
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Like sometimes I feel like I'm not breathing enough, and I'm like, like that. I don't want to do that. So.
Yeah. I just need it as normal as possible and not fluctuated, okay?
Okay.
Are you now in the state of Colorado?
Yes.
Before 2018, have you ever wanted to hurt someone to be even with them?
No.
Do you know where Shanann is now?
No.
Alright, how'd you feel? Same as all of it?
I think it was the same through everything.
For you.
It's kind of hard to relax.
I know, I get it. So I brought Graham in here because we want to talk to you about the results, okay?
Okay.
So, it is completely clear that you were not honest during the testing, and I think you already know that. You did not pass the polygraph test.
Okay.
Okay. So now we need to talk about what actually happened. And I feel like you're probably ready to do that.
I didn't lie to you on that polygraph, I promise.
Chris,
I know.
Chris, stop. It's time. Just stop for a minute. Take a deep breath. I want you to take a deep breath right now.
There's a reason you feel sick to your stomach. And when people hold stuff inside, it makes you physically ill. And I can just tell on your face, I could tell from the second you walked in that you were wanting to just come clean and just be done with this. And I appreciate that because you knew sitting down in that chair that you weren't going to pass today. And you knew I was going to find out because I told you that. And then you continued to stay knowing that you could, at the end, say, you know what, I just need to get this off my chest. Like, I just need to tell you what happened. We're not here to play games. We're not here to do any of that with you. We just want to know what happened. So can you start from the beginning and tell us what happened?
Everything that I have told you, I did not lie on this polygraph. I don't know how much I could tell you right now. Like, I did not.
It's not even an option right now because you did not pass the polygraph. So I know you were being deceptive. So that's not even an issue right now. The issue right now is what happened to Shanann, Bella, and Celeste. That's the issue right now.
Okay.
Okay. So let's talk about that. I know you want to tell us. I can see it in your face. Holding this lie in is going to do nothing for you.
I know this. Like, okay. I'm not like trying to like cover things up. Like,
yeah, but you kind of are because it's normal. Normal people would do that. Normal people that make a mistake initially are going to go, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do anything. That's normal. I would expect that. It's just like if you ask your kid, you know, did you write on the wall? And they go, no. And you're like, you have a marker on your hand. Like, I know you just wrote on the wall. And they're like, oh, okay. That's a natural reaction that someone's going to initially lie about something like that and then eventually tell the truth. So this is your eventually telling the truth time. This is where the rubber meets the road, Chris. Like, don't let this continue any longer, please.
I'm not trying to make anything continue. Like, I want them back home, like.
But you know they're not coming back home. You know that.
I don't know in the back of my head. I hope they come back home.
But you know they're not.
I hope they come back home.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know they're not coming back home.
Where are they?
I don't know where they're at. Honestly, I do not know where they are at. If I could have my babies back home right now, I would. I want them back. I want everybody back. That is the God's honest truth.
But you weren't here today lying about something else. So we need to talk about that, okay?
I cheated on her. I'm not proud of it. I didn't think anything like that could happen. I don't think I'd ever do it, but I did.
I know. Keep going.
And she accused me of it. I denied it. I cheated on her, and I feel horrible for it. Like, she was pregnant, and it was. I don't want to. I didn't hurt her. I cheated on her. I hurt her emotionally. I cheated on her. And I feel absolutely horrible about this, but that's what I've been holding. When I didn't go to the Rockies game, I was with her.
Okay.
I went to dinner with her. That 5 weeks I was alone, I was with her most of the time. But I don't want to get her involved in this. I don't want to ruin her life. Like, if something like this, I don't want her involved in this.
I knew that you would say you didn't want to get her involved.
But because
you'd like to take care of her.
She's a wonderful person. Like, I mean, she knew I was married, yes. And I told her going through issues, yes. And I told her that, you know, we were going to get, you know, at the end, like, we were going to get separated. Like, once I figured out what that was, I didn't know what that was going to be.
I know.
I had no idea. I like, you know, I saw her, took my breath away, and I'd never thought in a million years that could happen.
I don't think this girl did anything to hurt anybody, but I can't walk out of here wondering. So, can we leave her out of it?
Okay.
Get back to your wife and your daughters.
Okay.
Where are they?
I do not know. That was what I was holding back. Like, I didn't know, like, what I did. I know.
Chris, in the interview today, you weren't asked about infidelity. You were asked about...
I was holding back from last night.
We knew about Nikki, and so we didn't need to ask you about her in the polygraph. We just didn't need to, because we knew, okay? And so that's why we didn't ask you, because we already knew the answer, okay? We're very, very worried about your daughters and your wife.
I am too.
Okay? We want to give you an opportunity today to just help us find them, okay? Will you do that for us?
I'll do whatever I can to help to find where they're at.
Okay. So when she asked you, do you know where they are, or are you going to tell the truth about where they are?
I don't know where they're at.
Chris, right now your dad's outside. He flew across the country to help you. Okay? You're lying to him. You're lied to everyone you talk to. And they all bought it. Will you please help us find your babies?
I want to find them. I've told you over and over, I want to find everyone. I have nothing on my hands I did nothing to those kids or her to make them vanish.
What happened?
When I left, I mean, it's on video that I left and I was in my truck. I didn't like load anything into my truck besides my tools, my container, my book bag, my water jug, my lunchbox.
Okay. But then what happened?
I drove out of the driveway.
No, before you drove out of the driveway. What happened with your wife and your kids?
didn't do anything like that. They were still in the house.
Where are they? Where did they go?
I don't know, sir. I really don't know.
What was your plan? What were you going to do? I mean, how is the separation going to work?
Like, once we got separated, I would get my own place, and then 50-50 split with the kids. That's what I was hoping.
Mm-hmm. And what about Nikki?
Take it slow and just see if anything develops, like when I'm, at my own place.
Okay.
I just find it hard to hear you talk about just having this emotional, conversation with Shanann, and you're bawling and crying together, and you have not shed one tear in 2 days that you've been here. Not one. And help me understand that, because I don't get it. These are your baby girls, and you have not shed one tear over them not being around. Help me understand that.
I love those girls. I would never do anything just because I haven't shed a tear. Like, you
yeah, no, that's weird. Is that weird?
Don't look into that like I don't love my kids.
Tell me,
I love my wife.
explain to me. You're crying with your wife that you're leaving her.
Yeah.
But you don't cry that your 2 little baby girls.
I'm hoping they're still around somewhere. I'm hoping they're still somewhere.
Yeah, but you
alive.
don't have them right now. You're not reading stories to them at night.
I know.
You're not giving them midnight snacks. You're not giving them their medicine. You're not waking up with them in the morning.
I know this.
So that should cause you pain.
It does cause me pain.
But I don't see that. I don't see that. I want to see the Chris that cares. I want to see the Chris that, feels bad about what he did and wants to, get this off his chest and be done with this. And let us find your little girls so that they're not out there in the middle of a field or whatever somewhere. Like, don't do that.
I love those girls to death.
Then show us that. Show us that. Chris, did Shanann do something to them?
No, I don't know.
I'm serious.
I have no clue.
No, you would have known, because they didn't leave the house. Did Shanann do something to them, and then did you feel like you had to do something to Shanann?
No, they were at the house when I left. They were there.
They weren't there. They didn't leave. They vanished. I feel like you cleaned up for her.
Well, how about this? If we bring in your dad, will you promise me that you'll talk to him?
I'll talk to him.
Okay. Will you promise me that you'll tell him everything? Would it be easier if you told him and he told us?
I don't know.
And you need to realize that your dad is not going to stop loving you no matter what you tell him. You are his child, and he will not stop loving you.
He's been here the whole time. He didn't want to leave you. Hey Chris, we're gonna let you have however much time you need, okay?
Okay. You gonna leave us in here or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Tell what's going on with anything, or?
And this polygraph failed it. Yeah, because there's
too much emotions.
So I mean, they're not gonna let me go.
Is there any reason why they shouldn't?
They know I had an affair. And they know. I can't complain about that.
Anything else you want to tell me? What's going on, or what happened, or anything? Or you know anything about?
When we had that conversation that morning, it was emotional. It was told her about separation and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to protect her.
What?
I don't want to protect her.
You don't want to protect her?
I don't know what else to say.
Huh? She hurt him?
Yeah. And then I
What now?
not hurt her.
You hurt her. Did they leave after that, or what? So she started hurting the kids. Probably because what happened?
I didn't hear anything. When I was downstairs, I came back up and they were gone. Talking about separation and everything, about like when she lost it. I don't know like what else to say, like I freaked out. Those are my kids.
She freaked out over the separation and everything.
Like it was, she laid back down, but that's when I went downstairs. But I heard like a little commotion upstairs, but I didn't think anything of it.
Mm-hmm. Did she kill her?
They're blue.
Both of them?
Yeah.
She took both of them down.
I freaked out at the same thing. I didn't know what else to do. I freaked out. I didn't know nothing else to do. I didn't know what to do.
So she killed Lucy Stevens, choked them to death. You lost it and choke her or?
Mm-hmm. That's just rage. I hadn't.
What's that? You okay? You sure? Who's she now?
I put her back in her bed.
Is he okay? What happened next?
I don't know what to do. I have no idea what to do. I was shaking. Like both my kids were blue and they were gone. And just like blind, just I'm not that person, like I'm just like she hurt my kids.
Take the hard part. All you have left is you tell us where they're at.
We can help you get them out of the cold.
They're gone. There's no bringing them back.
Well, where are they?
At that first location I went to that day.
Whereabouts is Shanann and the girls?
How old is this picture?
Today.
That's today. Shanann right there.
Okay, can you mark it for me? Thanks. Is that S for Shanann? Okay, and where are the girls at?
Here.
In these?
Mm-hmm.
So which one is, do you know which one?
Are they in the tanks? Can somebody who doesn't know what they're doing open those? Okay, it's easy to open.
What's in the tank?
It's a mixture of oil and water.
There was a sheet found down here?
Mm-hmm.
Where's that from?
That was what Shanann was wrapped in.
So, how did you dig this out? I'm assuming that's under dirt. How did you dig that?
A shovel in my truck. It's the only truck.
So it's like a work shovel?
Someone stand up for me. I'm going to have you face that wall over there. Yep, just face it. Lift up your hands. Okay, go and fist this wall. Okay, you don't have anything on you, right? Okay, nothing in your pockets? Okay, go ahead and face that other wall behind you. I'm just going to search you real quick. Spread your legs. Further. Okay, turn around and face me. No earrings, necklaces, anything like that? Okay. Let's walk out this way. Go straight. Go out that door to your left. Your seat.
Tonight, we have learned from 2 law enforcement sources who are close to the investigation. They tell me that this husband has confessed to killing his family, and he is now detained. We have also learned some other information here. Law enforcement believes they know where the bodies are buried, and they are in the process right now of trying to recover those bodies.
Do you have individuals who would like to make a statement?
I do. Your Honor, if I could first call upon Frank Rusick to join me at the podium.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Rusick.
Good morning.
What I'd like to say to the court is that Shannon, Bella, and Nico are loving, caring people. They love life. They love being around people who love them. They always had good times. This is the first time they went to the beach this year, and they loved it. But God only knows what happened that night. Life will never be the same without Shannon, Bella, and Celeste and Nico. Had all their lives to live. They were taken by a heartless one. This is the heartless one, the evil monster, who dare you take the lives of my daughters Shannon, Bella, Celeste, and Nico. I trusted you to take care of them, not kill them. And they also trusted you. The heartless monster, and then you take them out like trash. You disgust me. They were loving and caring people. You may have taken their bodies from me, but you will never take the love they had from me. They loved us more than you will ever know, because you don't know what love is, because if you did, you would not have killed them. You monster, thought you would get away with this. I don't know how. The cameras do not lie. You carry them out like trash of the house. Yes, I seen the videotape. You buried my daughter Shannon and Nico in a shallow grave, and then you put Bella and Celeste in huge containers of crude oil. You heartless monster. You have to live with this vision every day of your life, and I hope you see that every time you close your eyes at night. Oh, I forgot. You have no heart or feelings or love. Let me tell you something. I will think of them every day of my life, and I love them every day of my life. Prison is too good for you. This is hard to say, but may God have mercy on your soul. I hope you enjoy your new life. It's nothing like the one you had out here. May the courts have no mercy on you. It's hard every day. It hurts in so many ways. I have heard people say that you're not a monster. No, you are not. You're an evil monster. Thank you. Love you, Shannon, Bella, and Nico. Love you, Pop and Dad. And one other thing. And Shannon says she is super excited for justice today. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
Your Honor, Frankie Rusick Jr., he has asked me to read his statement for him, but he would like to stand with me if that's okay.
Of course. Sir, if I could just have you state your name for the record.
Frankie Rusick Jr.
Thank you for being here.
Your Honor, the past 3 months I barely slept because I've been going through a lot of different emotions because I did not see this coming. You went from being my brother, my sister's protector, one of the most loved people in my family, to someone I will spend the rest of my life trying to understand. What gave you the right to put your hands on a woman, let alone my best friend, my beloved sister, your daughters, and your son? Why weren't they enough for you? In the blink of an eye, you took away my whole world, the people that mattered to me the most. Everything in my life I loved, your children. They trusted you. They loved you. They looked up to you because you promised to keep them safe. Instead, you turned on your family. My blood is boiling as I write these last words because they are the last you will ever hear from me. I can't even think of the right words to describe the betrayal and the hate I feel. And to be honest, you aren't even worth the time and effort it takes to put my pen to this paper. There isn't a day that goes by that I don't cry for my family. They were my whole world. All I do is ask myself why. Why would you do this? You don't deserve to be called a man. What kind of person slaughters the people that love them the most? Did you really think you would get away with this? Did you really think that this was your best option, to throw away your family like they were garbage? They deserve better, and you know it. I hope you spend the rest of your life staring at the ceiling every night, being haunted by what you've done. None of us deserved this. Hearing my mother and father cry themselves to sleep in this hotel room causes me anguish that is beyond words. I can't describe how this feels, how badly my heart is breaking for my poor parents. We trusted you. You have taken away my family from this earth, but you can never take them from my heart. You took away my privilege of being an uncle to the most precious little girls I've ever known. I will never hear the words Uncle Frankie again, but you will never be called Dad again either. You'll never be able to put your hands on another woman, let alone my best friend, my beloved sister, and your son. I just can't comprehend how they weren't enough for you. Shanann, Bella, and Cece loved you more than anyone. You were their hero. How could you destroy the people who loved them the most? I pray that you never have a moment's peace or a good night's rest in the cage you'll spend every day of your life in. A cage you are privileged to live in because my family isn't evil like you. We begged the district attorney to spare your life because despite everything, we believe that no one has the right to take the life of another, even someone like you. I feel sorry for your family. I know the pain that they must feel knowing that they can't hug you, because that's how my mother, father, and I feel every time we cry for our family. Nothing hurts more than watching or hearing my family weep for their loved ones. I just wish that I could tell that you would tell the truth, but I know that that is asking for more than you are capable of. I stayed up all night writing this statement. I don't sleep because of you. My life will never be the same because of you, but at least my conscience is clear. I get to live free, but I can't say the same for you. I haven't slept in 2 days because I've been anxiously waiting for this moment, the moment I get to tell you how I feel, how this has affected my family and I. My family and I can finally grieve after today. If anything, we will come out of this stronger today than we were before, and we will continue to pray for your family. Sincerely, Frankie Rusick.
Thank you, Mr. Rusick.
Your Honor, Sandy Rusick would like to address the court.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Thank you for this moment.
If I can just have you just identify yourself for the record.
My name is Sandra Rusak, Shannon's mother.
Thank you.
I wanted to say thank you for this moment. I want to take a moment to thank everyone who has prayed for our beloved family, who had sent gifts, cards to us from all over the world. I know God will put the evil people where they need to be. I also want to take the time to thank the town of Frederick, Greeley, FBI, the DA's office, the CBI, for exceptional work. We thank Nicole Atkinson, Shannon's neighbor, Nathan, and his family. To me, they're our heroes. They really are. God bless. God makes no mistakes on who he puts in your life. Marriage is about love, trust, and friendship and unity. We marry for sickness and health, to death do us part. Our daughter Shannon loved you with all of her heart. Your children loved you to the moon and back. Shannon's family was her world. Shannon put a crown on your head. But unfortunately, the day that you took their life, God removed that crown. We loved you like a son. We trusted you. Your faithful wife trusted you. Your children adored you, and they also trusted you. Your daughter Bella Marie sang a song proudly. I don't know if you got to see it, but it was Daddy, You're My Hero.
My daddy is a hero. He helps me grow up strong. He helped me snuggle too. He reads me books. He ties my shoes. If you're a hero, blue and blue, my daddy is love you.
I have no idea who gave you the right to take their lives. But I know God and his mighty angels were there at that moment to bring them home to paradise. God gives us free will. So not only did you take the family of four, your family of four, you took your own life. I want the world to know that our daughter and her children were so loved by us. There will always be protected by God and his mighty angels. I didn't want death for you because that's not my right. Your life is between you and God now, and I pray that he has mercy for you. From Shannon's mother, Bella Marie, Celeste Catherine, and Nico Lee's Nana. Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, that's all the witnesses that I had intended on calling, and I know that the court addressed this during the procedural posture. I am aware that Mr. and Mrs. Watts would also like to address the court. I would certainly invite the court, if you want, at this point, to call upon them, or we can certainly do it after any evidence that the defense has as well.
Sure. Does Cindy or Ronnie Watts wish to make a statement under the Victims' Rights Amendment? Good morning, Ms. Towers.
Good morning, Your Honor.
And if I can have you folks introduce yourself for the record.
I'm Cindy Watts.
Ron Watts. Thank you. And I have authorized you to make a statement to the court as paternal grandparents 8 children.
Do you want to read it? Yes.
So if I could just have you state your name for the record.
Cindy Watts.
Thank you.
My name is Cindy Watts. I am the grandmother of 2 beautiful granddaughters, Bella Marie, Celeste Catherine Watts. I am also the mother of Christopher Watts, who I will be directing most of my statement to. First, I'd like to begin by recognizing the absolute horror of this crime and acknowledging the devastating loss that both the Rusek family as well as our family have faced. Our families have been irreparably broken by the needless deaths of Shanann, Bella, Cece, and Nico. This is something we will never get over. We will always mourn the loss of our family, and in that, we are united in our grief. I am still struggling to understand how and why this tragedy occurred. I may never be able to understand and accept it, but I pray for peace and healing for all of us. Now to my son Christopher. I have known you since the day you were born into this world. I have watched you grow from a quiet and sweet, curious child who Bella reminded me so much of, to a young man who worked hard in sports and later mechanics to achieve your goals. You are a good friend, brother, father, and son. We have loved you from the beginning, and we still love you now. This might be hard for some to understand, how I can sit here under these circumstances and tell you, although we are heartbroken, although we can't imagine what could have led us to this day, but we love you. Maybe you can't believe it either. As the Lord said in Jeremiah 3:31, I have loved you with an everlasting love. Therefore, I have continued my faithfulness to you. And you, as your mother, Chris, I have always loved you, and I still do. I hate what has happened. Your father and sister and I are struggling to understand why. But we will remain faithful as your family, just as God remains faithful because of his unconditional love for us all. We love you, and we forgive you, son.
Thank you.
Judge, if I could read Mr. Watts' statement.
Yes.
My name is Ronnie Watts, and I am the grandfather of Bella, Celeste, Nico Watts, and I am the father of Shannon. I am the father of Christopher Watts as well. And one of the most important things I've done in my life is to raise my children and to watch as they started their own families. I spent many years coaching Little League and talking to my son, taking him to the races, and sharing my love and knowledge of cars with him. He was just as involved with his girls. I believe he loves his girls. I know he does. This tragedy has impacted my family in so many ways. Beyond losing my precious grandchildren, our beloved daughter-in-law, we are forced to question everything. We still don't have all the answers, and I hope one day, Christopher, you can help us. Chris, I want to talk to you as a father and son. You are here today accepting responsibility, but I want to tell you this now. I love you. Nothing will ever change that. And I want you to find peace. And today is your first step. The Bible says if we confess our sins, God is faithful and just and will forgive us. Chris, I forgive you, and your sister forgives you, and we will never abandon you, and we love you. Dad. Judge, thank you for the opportunity to address the court.
Mr. Walsh, would you like to present any evidence?
We have no evidence, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Walker, is there any statements you would like to make on behalf of the prosecution.
Yes, please. Your Honor, there are no words to adequately describe the unimaginable tragedy that brings us before this court today. Shanann was 34 years old. She had married the defendant in November of 2012. We know that he slowly took her life the morning of August 13th. We know that this was not done in an uncontrolled, vengeful manner that he tried to describe to agents from CBI and the FBI. If that were the case, you would expect to see vicious, horrible bruising about her neck, shoulders, and face. You would expect to see the hyoid bone in her neck broken. You would expect to see some kind of defensive wounds on his body as she struggled and fought for her own life. The only injuries that were on Shanann's body were one set of finger or bruising, what appeared to be fingernail or finger mark bruising to the right side of her neck. We know that our experts will tell us that it takes 2 to 4 minutes to strangle someone to death manually with their own hands. The horror that she felt as the man that she loved wrapped his hands around her throat and choked the life out of her must have been unimaginable. Even worse, what must Bella, age 4, and Celeste, age 3, must have experienced or thought as their father, the one man on this planet who was supposed to nurture and protect them, was snuffing out their lives. They both died from smothering. Let me say that again. The man seated to my right smothered his daughters. Your Honor, understand very clearly, Bella fought back for her life. The frenulum, the connective tissue between her upper lip and her gum, had a 1.5 centimeter laceration. She bit her tongue multiple times before she died. She fought back for her life as her father smothered her. Celeste had no such injuries. In fact, she had no external injuries at all. But according to the medical examiner, she was smothered nonetheless. The defendant then methodically and calmly loaded their bodies into his work truck. In one final measure of disrespect for the family he once had, he ensured that they would not be together, even in death, or so he thought. He disposed of them in different locations. He buried Shanann and Nico in a shallow grave away from the oil tanks. Bella and Celeste were thrown away in the oil tanks at this facility. Different tanks, so these little girls wouldn't be together in death. Imagine this, Your Honor. This defendant took those little girls and put them through a hatch at the top of an oil tank, 8 inches in diameter. Bella had scratches on her left buttocks from being shoved through this hole. A tuft of blonde hair was found on the edge of one of these hatches. The defendant told investigators that Bella's tank seemed emptier than CC's because of the sound that the splashes made. These were his daughters. Why? Why did this have to happen? His motive was simple, Your Honor. He had a desire for a fresh start, to begin a relationship with a new love that overpowered all decency and feelings for his wife, his daughters, and unborn son. Even the morning after he killed them and disposed of their bodies, he made several phone calls. One was to the school where the girls were supposed to start, telling the school that the girls would not be coming to school anymore, that they were being unenrolled, presumably to give him some more time before law enforcement notification about them going missing. He contacted a realtor to start discussing the selling of his house, and he texted with his girlfriend about their future. None of this answers the questions of why, however. If he was this happy and wanted a new start, get a divorce. You don't annihilate your family and throw them away like garbage. Why did Nico, Celeste, Bella, and Shanann have to lose their lives in order for him to get what he wanted? It's been alluded to this morning, but the defendant was certainly eligible for the death penalty in this case under the existing law in the state of Colorado. As you heard, Shanann's family strongly opposed my office seeking the death penalty and being bound to the criminal justice system for the next several decades. That's in large part, as you've heard, why we have reached the agreement that we have. 4 lives were lost at the hands of the defendant on August 13th for reasons that we will never fully understand, nor will we know. In the end, the Rusick family was much more merciful towards him than he was towards his wife, his daughters, and his unborn son.
I've been a judicial officer now for starting my 17th year, and I could objectively say that this is perhaps the most inhumane and vicious crime that I have handled out of the thousands of cases that I have seen. Deputies, I would respectfully ask that you take this defendant into custody and have him serve the rest of his life in the Department of Corrections. We are in recess.
Please rise. Know that no matter how hard life gets, no matter how low you feel, know that deep down, like in your heart, that there's a purpose, there's a reason for everything. We may not understand it at the time. It's hard to understand it at the time. So, all of this comes from all of this positivity that I'm sharing. My 2 children are because of all of this, like all of this. My health challenges happened for a reason. I was told I couldn't have kids, you know, and here I have 2 amazing, crazy, wild children I love dearly. All right, everybody, have an amazing day, and I love you all. Bye, guys.